All right. So I'm pretty late in getting to this video, but we got to rank the cards for this month because I actually think there's some very interesting cards that I don't know if people are talking about enough. And it's what day two of the season, so not too late on it. Now, um, Venus, I think, is probably your best card of the month. There's a reason it's the super premium pass card and all that. It's obviously going to make a ton of money because when your cards in play are empowered, that means when anywhere on the board, when they get permanent energy, they're going to get +1 power. So they made a change not too long ago that all instances of power gain will count as as 1 power gain. So let's say Kaori hits a brood, or let's say a Kaori hits a Sha 3 times. Before it would have been 1, Sha would have activated, 2, Sha would have activated, and then 3, Sha would have activated. Now it's 1, 2, 3, Sha activates, right? Well, with Venus, it's going to be that 1, 2, 3, Sha will activate, Venus will activate, and then Sha will activate again. So that's crazy, right? Because think about obviously she's a 3 cost, so she's going in Surfer. I saw the meme of Snap players putting Venus into Surfer. Yeah, I mean that's kind of when you hit that +2 across the board, final turn, and then Venus goes +1, +1, +1. I mean, some of us remember when Surfer was doing +3, and that was crazy. So, and then you've got things, obviously, when your cards are in play, right? So something like Viv Vision or um, Gwenpool, things like that aren't going to work with this, but there's so many things going on with Maverick right now and Stick. Um, what is it? Forge and whatnot. So Forge and the Maverick and the Stick, and then you get +1, +1, +1. Like it just starts to stack up. It's crazy. People are doing. You bring back Bishop. This is Bishop's time to shine, and Angela, and that whole crazy thing. You do like a silky smooth, or people are even doing the zombie smooth. Um, yeah, it's crazy. That's the number 1 card, right? Now, I actually want to talk about what I think is going to be the number 2 card of the season, and what I think will be. It's obviously going to go in Server, of course, but I think it's going to be just as widespread as Venus, and it's Namorita. And when you draw a card, give it -1 cost if this is your only card here. First off, did we need another ramp card? No, absolutely not. I don't know why they keep printing the same effects. Marvel, Snap, if you're hearing me, and you're not, second dinner. I know you're not, but new effects, all the cards. We don't need more ramp. I mean, this is already. I don't know if you remember when they nerfed Fantastic Reed, the first steps, and then he just kind of fell out because he was really good at a 2 cost, and I think he should have stayed at 2 costs. But then he was stepping on the toes of Fastos, right? And then Fastos, I think Reed into Fastos should still be an option. I think they should bring it back. I don't think it's with all the crazy stuff, right? That's happened since Reed. Like Reed could come back. Merlin, I think is too strong, and yet he exists. Surge is really good. People just don't talk about it enough. Like these cards are still very good. And getting to just draw a card, it's automatically -1 cost. Obviously, Surfer is like the best of it. If you draw Sarah on 4 right after playing this, that's the net right there, right? But really drawing anything, and then you can utilize like Hope or Luna, things like that. Even Surge into this. Then you're playing a 3 cost for 1. Like it's crazy, right? Um, yeah, just think about the amount of cards that you could just play for just getting it out cheaper at all. And then with things like we already have Mother Ascani that's doing crazy things. You take that card and then you now duplicate it, and yeah, it's crazy, crazy work. And while we're talking about Mother Ascani, I think Submariner is going to be bonkers. I think what is her name? Victoria Hand decks are going to love this card. So it's going to be tricky because at first you think, playing in a zoo. I don't think so. If you take and you do crazy things to it. So when this is empowered, add a random 1 cost card to your hand with that same increase. Now that happens in hand as well as on the board. So why is that crazy? Because you can do stuff like uh, when this is empowered, I imagine Bastion will count for that, right? So because you're increasing its cost, but you're also increasing its power, I would assume that counts. Things like Wing Beat and as Mother Scotty. I love that combo together. You do Wing Beat and then you do Mother Scotty, and I play Wing Beat and Mother Scotty on what is that? On Wong, right? I get 2 cost. What am I saying? I get 2 cost zombie giant man all the time, and then I get 3 2 cost giant man, and then I 2 4 6 bam. It's crazy, it's crazy. Um, because you can play 1 in each lane. I love it. I'll link that. I'll have the deck at the end of the video, just because it's a fantastic deck. It's what I took. I didn't make Infinite last season, but I got to 98 with it. Um, anyhow, Victoria Hand is going to go crazy with it. You could do like a zoo thing where on turn 5 you drop a whole bunch of these, and then on turn 6, you're dropping Gilgamesh, right? But I don't know. I think the um, hand route, especially you could get out or have an alternative to uh, Gambit, right? And then there's just many, many, many things you do with Frigga, with Bastion, with Ascani, right? Ascani is going to be the big one because you're creating that duplicate, also giving the power, so then you're going to have the extra car 1 cost get created, and then it doesn't matter because you're going to drop them all on the last turn, right? So you could even do something like a Black Swan on 2. That way you can drop all these empowered cards, right? And you could drop them all with a Gilgamesh or with Victoria Hand and do all kinds of crazy things. Right? So that's I think going to be it. It's going to be a strong, strong card this month. Now, just for empowering, Jeff's going to be like crazy because if you do Jeff into Viv, and then you play Shaw, and then you play right, and then you move Jeff, and then do Vision, not Vision, Brood, right? I started thinking of a card that moves for some reason, and Vision. Anyways, and then you do Brood. Like already, you're getting so much power, right? I do a lot of magic Sarah in my surfer decks. So that gives you extra time to play the 3 cards in one lane, then move, play 3 more cards. You have the Storm and the Viv and things like that, the Mother of Scanies, all those giving you power. And then this is giving you +1 power. And then you use it with, Submariner or what is that card? Venus. I already forgot her name. And then you just +1, +1, +1, and then it's going to be hard to really keep up with that. I think that's going to be a strong card, not the strongest of the month, but yeah, a real strong card. Triton is going to be really good, actually, in Namora decks. I think that Namora or uh, what is the dragon, the Undying? I forgot his name. Those kind of decks, right? Where you're putting a lot of power on one card and then shifting it over. So you could do like Mysterio shenanigans where you play Mysterio and then you have Luke Cage. So when you switch it over, right? Or Scarlet Spider is the one that comes to mind. You could do something like Scarlet Spider on 4, right? And then you do Nova and Triton on 5. And then you can either do Namora or you can do, what's his name? Odin. So, right. So Odin is going to give the power to Nova, Frankie Ray, as long as she's the last card played, right? So you play Scarlet Spider, Triton, Nova, and then Odin. And now you've got, hopefully you could even do Wong on 3 if you play like Psylocke or something. Or the mini ramp options now. And then so hopefully Wong's out too, but even without Wong, that's still, and then Nova's going to double up in power. That's just a thing that I was thinking. Or you play Triton on 3, right? Scarlet Spider on 4. Then you do you had Nova out on 2, so then you do Namora on 5, and then play Odin on top of that. And then he's going to reactivate the Triton, which is going to give extra power to Namora. And then he's going to reactivate the Namora, which will give extra power to the Scarlet Spider and the Nova. Nova will double up in power. Scarlet Spider will activate a move or create the clone. So that's where my head goes, where I think it'll be strong. But just even still, just throwing it in Surfer, right? Another card where you're just like, here you go, get more power, right? Or even still, I do a lot of Odin shenanigans, so I will do because I do turn 7. So then I do a whole bunch of stuff and then reactivate it, because you could do on 6, you can do on Wong, you do Surfer and Chameleon or Surfer and Prodigy. If you do Surfer and Prodigy on top of Wong, Prodigy will become another Wong, and then it used to go crazy before they changed Wong Rip. But anyways, then Odin. But now you can do Surfer and right, and then Odin on top of that. So it'll just be crazy because Triton will either boost himself or he'll boost the Surfer, whichever one you played last, right? And you'll probably play the Surfer last because why not? But it's a good way to get extra power. Usually you don't get a whole lot of power in the Surfer lane, right? You're usually boosting up one 3 cost maybe. And so like I do Surfer into Prodigy on Wong, and then you're only giving +2 to the Prodigy, which is not a lot. But now you can do Triton into Surfer, and then Triton will boost up whatever it was supposed to, whatever you played on 5, right, will get boosted up, like Sarah probably. And then um, after that, Odin will proc what 4 times. Odin will proc the Triton on top of Surfer. So Surfer's going to boost up Triton, and Triton's going to boost up Surfer. So that lane will go taller, and you have that as well. There's a lot you could do with it. It's just all in. It's going to be one of the more trickier cards to know when to play and how to play it and getting the most out of it, I think. But yeah, you can't beat +3 power. I have a feeling like this is going to be one of those sneaky strong cards because of the +3 power. And like I said, being able to reactivate um, with Odin or just what you hit. So if you hit Maverick, right? So let's say you do Maverick and then you do Triton and then you uh, activate Maverick into Stick. And +3 power is no joke. And they seem to have not learned. So we'll see. All right. So that's where I think the good cards in, right? Now we have an okay card in Monstro. And Monstro, obviously, 8/8. Card is reduced. Card's cost is reduced by the next card on top of your deck. Right now, we're seeing a bunch of high cost card decks, right? There was one, not last month, but the month before, that was real popular with uh, chamber decks that were real popular. Um, and then last month wasn't the chamber decks, but the Sauron decks were pretty popular. Problem is, a lot of those featured Daredevil, so you're throwing in a lot of one cost, and at any moment you can just be drawing one cost. King Atri does mitigate a one cost, but you are polluting down your deck. So um, it's like Fisk, but a little bit harder to do, right? Fisk was easy because you could plop down a 6 and then play him on 6 cost, and then, or excuse me, 6 power, 2 cost, and then play him on 3, no problem, right? Um, Especially since Surfer was the other popular deck last month, especially towards the end, and Surfer's low cost until like the very end when it shoots up and stuff. So yeah, Fisk was easy to proc. I think this one is okay because, like, I don't know, I faced a deck today that was dropping um, Infinite and whatnot. It was a chamber deck. I was like, wow. And then I beat it easy with the Horde deck. So I don't know. It's an okay card. And then we have our straight up just bad cards. When you draw a card, Jubilee Silver Surfer will add this card's power, her power, to the card you draw. Now, she's a 4 cost, so you either have to ramp her out or spend your time boosting her up in hopes that you get good power into your last couple of cards, which we're seeing Stick right now be really good. So I could be wrong, and this could be a good card, right? Like Stick, but better, if that makes sense. I just, I don't know. I don't know, because the thing about Stick is that he's on reveal and he kind of just, for one card, just blam. And then you get like a good brood over here, and then you boost up Stick a bunch. The fact that it has to be a card you drew is what's holding her back, right? So um, you're kind of having to use your first 3 turns to boost her as best you can, and then play her on 4 to get maximum value. Because if you play her on 3, you haven't really boosted her. I mean, you could do 4. I just don't know how you could. Yeah, I don't know how you could boost her, or how you could ramp boost her. Yeah, I don't see it. And so 4 cost is tricky. Only now are 4 cost cards starting to come out as good. And I think she's an old style, not good 4 cost. Something that you're like, Kaori, it should be good. And then Kaori's like, not. Um, I use her, or I did use her. I now use. I used her in Namora as a just in case I didn't draw, and then I was using Karen Page, right? Because I was doing broods and novas and things like that. I have a lot of 1, 2, 3 costs in the deck for Namora, so Karen was working out. But now with my vision for Triton, I need the spot, so Karen's going to be out, and that was the only deck I used Karen in was Namora. Um, you know, don't know. It's hard for these 4 costs, right? And really, they could be 3 costs, but then they're just not because I don't know. Their thought process is okay. Karen boost up a 1, 2, 3. So you put a 1, you put a 2, you put a 3, something like a uh, what is that deck? Wiccan, Wiccan decks. Supposed to love a card like that, but then you're playing cards that are never going to take full usage of Karen. Like when I played Karen and Namora, you're using cards that are going to take advantage of the buff, right? And so I don't know, but then it's not consistent that you'll draw those cards, and then like Karen was just a backup to Namora, and I just don't see what Jubilee will be a backup to, right? I don't see what she'll like a backup to Reed. Maybe like you play Fastos and then you play Jubilee, and then that +2, and you play that in Surfer, right? And then because she's a Silver Surfer card, so you play something like Fastos, and then hopefully you're getting the cost reduction. You got Surge into Fastos into Jubilee, and you got +2, and it doesn't really matter because you've got like Brood and Shaw and God, what's her name, Sarah, things like that that you're hoping, but I don't know. That'll be what I'll do. I feel like it's rough to say, oh, this is a Surfer season and all these cards go into Surfer. But the thing is, Surfer is a legit archetype, and if that's what they go into, like I feel like there's this stigma around you're just gonna throw it into Surfer because it's a 3 cost. I mean, an archetype. I didn't create Snap. It's an archetype, and it happens to be an archetype I love playing. Like I don't enjoy playing Destroy or Death or Destroy or Discard or things like that. When a Destroy season comes out, people don't go these cards are only in Destroy. Like, me, yeah, they created a Destroy season. What do you want? December happened, right? So, anyways, um, it only just occurred to me. Surfer is written on the card, so that's where I'll try her. And then this card. This card is free because it's a tech card, and the last tech card that, well, no, because was Cosmic Ghost Rider. Cosmic Ghost Rider was a series card. It wasn't a free card. It came out of a pack, I believe. I was going to say the last one was Red Guardian, but yeah, no, tech cards usually go to the limited type game modes because um, they're very niche. Um, and this is very niche. It's going to feel great when it hits. But it's the next time your opponent would start a turn with bonus energy, they don't get it. And I think that was their Star Lord counter, like 3 seasons too. Like, didn't Star Lord come out 3 seasons ago? Feels like it. Um, I don't know what this is to counter. I really don't. This is just to throw it down and say no for a turn. But like, I don't know because your opponent's usually only getting 1 bonus energy, right? unless they've got some stuff on the horizon and it's not brand new Spider-Man month. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. This card is going to just be one that you're going to get because you don't want it to go into a pack. Um, somebody was I was watching a Twitch stream today, and I won't call them out, but they hadn't played Snap all last month. They, like many people, burnouts, and they had some frustrations and stuff. And then the free card last month they didn't get, and it didn't go into a, now they got to pack pull it, and it's actually a good card that people are using right now. So, it does suck. Um, but anyways, quicksand. No, just a bad card. Just a bad card. Even during it would have been a phenomenal card. It would have been played in every deck, and you would have lost the moment you started turn 5 and didn't have it. Well, no, I guess you have to play it on 4, right? For Star Lord, you would have had to play it on 4 to stop them from getting the energy on 5. Well, no, right? Because Star Lord activates on 5. Yeah, you wouldn't need to play it on 5. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. You get what I'm saying. Apart from Star Lord, who isn't dead, y'all, by the way. Pick him back up. Do something interesting. But anyways, yeah, so some really good cards, some really bad cards. I'm probably most excited if I had to. Venus is good. Venus is just good. But my most excited card is Triton and Submariner. Submariner, just because I want to see what can be done, especially with Mother, who's my absolute favorite card. I know everybody's using it. I don't care. It's one of those cards. I was in love with it from day one. I was in love with it because I don't know. It just felt like you could put it anywhere, and I found a card that I just wanted to build all my decks around, and so I did. And then everybody else was like, "Oh, this card's great. I'm going to use it too." Like the next week, and I was like, "Off, people." But anyways, Submariner, because like I said, Wing Beat into Mother on 5 is just fucking, especially on Wong. I'm gonna give you one more thing. On Wong, on 5, you play Hulkbuster and then Frigga. You will get 2 copies of whatever it is. And if you have Quinjet in play, they're discounted. So just I put you on there. Yeah. So here's the deck that I horticulture, and I that's such a clever name, and it's going to go over most people's head or go unappreciated because nobody appreciates my deck title. But yeah, incredible deck right there. So, anyways, thanks for watching all of this, and be sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff.